So, now before we get into Christmas UFOs, the guys from Astonishing Legends, Scott and Forrest, were talking this past week about a couple that was driving from Las Vegas to Reno, and they were going through the city of Tonopah, Nevada, which is in the desert. Tiny town, not much there. But now, if I remember, they showed all the signs of having been abducted, but they seem to remember a Christmas store in Tonopah. And so, on their way back through it, they were just going to look for it because they couldn't get into it. They remembered not being able to get into it. Well, they were driving around, they couldn't find it.
Huh.
So, a couple weeks later, they're making the same drive, and they stop in Tonopah regularly because there's a station casino there that has a nice restaurant. They rest lunch at that restaurant. And so they're asking the waitress at the restaurant about this Christmas store, and she doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And so I guess this Christmas store was the way their minds explained the UFO that picked them up.
I see. Didn't you just mention our friend?
Yeah, the Astonishing Legend, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think I might have seen something from them under the tree.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, and we've opened some other presents as well, so why not open this one?
Might as well.
Well, you know. Yeah, we've got a gift, and it is a family plot Christmas.
It is a family plot Christmas.
Good evening, y'all. My name is Adam.
And my name's Matt, and we are Graveyard Tales.
And you're listening to the Family Plot Podcast.
We want to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
This is Scott from Astonishing Legends.
And this is Forrest, and you're listening to the Family Plot Podcast with Dean, Laura, and Crystalline. Happy holidays.
When we're not working on our own show, we're listening to the Family Plot. Clearly you are too, or you wouldn't be hearing this, so good on you.
So, on December 16th, before I get into this.
That was awesome.
That was cool. That was awesome.
Good job, guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone that sent us Christmas greetings or holiday greetings. Even Caleb, who sent us Easter greetings.
Easter greeting, yeah, that's cool too.
I mean, it did say.
So, on December 16th, 2011, a woman named Dawn posted a video on YouTube about an odd artifact she noticed on that year's official White House Christmas card. No other versions of the card contain the UFO, which you can see circled in the image, leading Dawn to believe that she possessed a copy of the original photo. All subsequent cards she used had been edited to remove it. It was a Christmas UFO mystery. The original video has since been deleted, so was it really a UFO, or was it just a glitch in the printing?
Yeah, I think maybe Dawn's got some issues, but I could be wrong.
Now, on Christmas Day in 2013, a number of white UFOs were spotted in the skies over Tokyo, Japan. A journalist captured video of the sighting, and it soon went viral. The objects, described as disc or rod shaped, were all tilted at the same angle, and some appeared to be in formation.
Wow.
Now, skeptics will tell you that the more mundane explanation is these are simply contrails from passing jets illuminated by the sun. But I think we had Christmas visitors.
Well,
Or rather, Japan did.
Yeah.
anything is possible.
Now, in Nixon, Texas, MUFON reports 3 days after Christmas in 2012, a figure triggered a game camera within a forested area in Nixon, Texas. Over a series of 3 photos, a strange light can be seen moving upward from left to right. The game cam has taken dozens of pictures prior to this incident from the same mounted position. No light or reflection has ever been seen there before. So, some people thought, well, it's just headlights, but the headlights don't track that way.
Yeah, not
No.
usually. Headlights don't run like that.
Well, and not in other pictures where they have headlights.
Right.
It doesn't do that. So,
Sure.
people don't really have an explanation for the game camera. In Boise, Idaho, in 2011, on Christmas Eve.
Now I want a baked potato. Poison.
Oh,
Potato.
yeah, I'll take a baked potato as well.
Sure.
Or
Well, I'm not
a
making
baked
them.
sweet potato with cinnamon. So yeah. Anyway, a witness describes a scene that took place on Christmas Eve in 2011, during which a large glowing red plasma ball hovered in the air for some 40 minutes. According to the report, the sighting was also corroborated by a friend of the witness who lived 4 to 5 miles away, who could also see the object. So it's basically it's a plasma ball, so the alien sends a Christmas ornament. The Boise.
They were hoping for a baked potato in return.
Or they were trying to say hi to Forrest, because Forrest Burgess comes
Oh,
from Idaho.
oh, cool.
Or at least his family does.
That's a possibility.
So, day after Christmas, 2010, MUFON reports UFO witness was riding a skid steer loader, which is a small tractor, in Hayward, Wisconsin, when he noticed a bright light appear out of nowhere. He quickly grabbed his phone and took a picture, and when you look at the picture online, you can see the starry light. The object zoomed off to the west and presumably disappeared. The 2 pictures submitted with the report show a before and after of the experience.
Wow.
And then in North Carolina, not too far away from where our friends from Drunk Theory live.
Haven't heard from them in a minute. How are our friends over at Drunk Theory?
Drunk.
They're drunk,
Drunk?
but it's the holidays, so that's okay.
Yeah, well, they were one of the first things we played was their Merry Christmas greeting. So,
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
and they were drunk, but that's okay.
Okay.
Now, on over North Carolina, floating rectangle, on the evening of December 30th, 2009, a witness was riding down a road in Raleigh, North Carolina, when a dark square craft passed overhead. At first, they thought it was a plane, but a plane wouldn't be flying so low at night with no ground lights. And it certainly wouldn't be moving as slowly as this was. The craft traveled exactly due west. They returned later that evening with a compass that checked about 50 to 60 feet off the ground and 40 yards to their left over a field at about 30 miles an hour.
So, wait, if that's short for them, what is the normal height for an airplane?
It's not that it was short. It was that it was only 50, 60 feet off the ground, and when planes are that low, they almost always have their ground lights on.
No, that's what I meant. If that's low for them, how high do they go in the sky normally?
I would say most planes, even,
Like 10,000 feet.
yeah, they fly pretty high.
6,000.
Even like just two-person biplanes will fly at 5,000 or 6,000 feet.
So depending on the amount of people in the plane, it could change.
One size, yeah.
Yep. The other thing they noticed was that one light was dim green and or dim white, depending on which witness you speak to.
Right.
And there was no sound coming from it. No sound at all.
Interesting.
Also, in Andover, Massachusetts, glowing lights were spotted in the skies on the evening of December 19th, 2013. There was also a video submitted. The lights appeared in a triangular formation with a fourth straggler traveling behind them.
Wow.
But then things got serious because more and more crafts followed at a constant rate, about 30 seconds apart from one another. And finally, they all faded from sight. And then, famously, the Rendlesham UFO incident happened on December 26, 1980, in the Rendlesham Forest in the UK. Now, this was referred to as the British Roswell, and it happened at an American Air Force base.
Right. And haven't we talked about this before?
We haven't, but it's on our list.
I got it.
And it's just one of those that it's just had the bad luck of being there when we needed to move it for other things.
I see. Well, that's okay, Rundle. We're thinking of you.
We'll get there. But the point is that skeptics will say that it's from a lighthouse that's in the area, that they saw the lights from the lighthouse and that's what they thought the UFO was. But that's kind of impossible because you're dealing with soldiers, people that are trained observers, and they see that lighthouse all the time. You're not going to convince me that any situation exists short of a bombing where they might confuse that lighthouse light for a UFO. It would have to be a chaotic scene, and it just wasn't. So, and I'm not going to get into it much more than that because we will get into it fully at some point in time.
Yeah.
But there are your Christmas UFOs. So we had Christmas ghosts and Christmas UFOs. So it's like Toast, our former mascot, got together with Rick and gave us a Christmas party.
Aww.
Now our
Old friends and new friends and Old Lang Syne and before our next week's episode of New Year, New Weird.
Yep. So that is our show. I want to say thank you to everybody who listened. I also want to thank everyone that...
Special thank you to all of our friends who sent us holiday greetings.
Yes, very special thank you to all of them. I didn't honestly expect the guys from Astonishing Legends to send what they did.
I'm sure none of us did.
And Scott Philbrook telling me that he liked the idea for our show. It's cute.
Made Dean's day.
I messed it up. I cried. I really did.
You did.
Of course, thanks to the listeners. We couldn't do this without them. Thanks for Bill Page.
Bill Page! Bill Page!
For doing our theme music. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. You're awesome. And we keep telling people that if they need theme music, you're the dude to call.
Exactly. Well, email Bill Barrett, BEHRENDT, at sbcglobal.net. That will get you to Bill, and he will craft you something fantastic musically.
Yeah.
Also, thanks to Paige Elmore of Reverie True Crime.
Thank you, Paige.
Thanks to
Sorry.
Aaron Gnert of the Big Dumb Fun Show for the local
okay.
promotion he does for us. Thanks, Aaron. Join our Facebook group where you can tell us about your own
absolutely.
ghost
We
stories
love
or-
new friends on our Facebook group.
or UFOs that you've seen around Christmas.
Sure.
Although if you've seen them on New Year's Eve, I will need corroboration that it wasn't whatever you were drinking at the time.
Exactly.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Of course, plot_family. That's the family plot Twitter. But you can also follow FamPlot Mom Laura.
That'd be me.